So today's video, a little bit different. You know, I'm gonna be playing some BL2 multiplayer. I'm downloading at the moment BL1, some other games as well, just to, you know, switch it up. Suppose in today's vid, I'm gonna talk about letting yourself be happy. Yeah, I think we'll talk about that. Today, especially if you're already in, you know, the mindset, you know, in a negative mindset. It sounds like what I'm saying is just like, yo, shut up. You're just saying it because you're like, okay now, or whatever type shit, you know, people are saying. But no one ever is. No one's ever, you know, perfectly okay. No one's ever, you know, everything's gold, you know, everything's absolutely perfect. That's never, you know, no one's ever like that all the time, is what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm not saying I'm not saying no one's like that, because that's not true, because a lot of people are. And personally, I can say for myself that I am now. I'm a lot better than I was. When I was younger, I wasn't very in a good place. One of the things that I had to learn was I had to learn to allow myself to experience happiness. I had to allow myself to not focus on the negative. I was scared of happiness, which is such a weird thing to say. It's such a weird feeling, weird thing to say. You're probably thinking what you want about, you know? It sounds like you're just being an attention seeker or something, which it definitely wasn't, because I didn't you know, post about any of it, or I just kept my mouth shut, you know. I didn't say anything to anyone. I had a weird philosophy of life, definitely, back when I was younger. I used to think that I needed to be miserable because that's a realistic mindset. That's a realistic way to view the world. Because eventually everything will be bad. Eventually everything will be miserable and sad and all, you know, whatever. Which is just, it's, looking back at it, it's just like, why did I ever think that? It's so stupid. It's such like a linear mindset, you know, nihilism. I was just nihilistic. I was extremely nihilistic. I didn't see the good in anything. I just thought, what's the point? What's the point in even trying if I know eventually everything's just going to crumble? You know, everything's just going to be seen as a failure, which is, it is such a corrupting mindset, because it starts at one thing, like, oh, I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to try. Let's say I don't want to try skating because I'll just fail. Basically, counting yourself out before you even started is what I would do. I would take myself out of the chance of even trying before I even started, and that led to, you know, it kind of like dominoed to a lot of other things in my life, which it didn't leave a great imprint on me or the people around me. I don't even know how I felt really, because I was so young, and I was just like, maybe ignorant. I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel this, like, you know. I was just like, no. I was ignorant, blunt way to put it, but it's true. I was ignorant. I wasn't open to being happy. I wasn't open to allowing myself to experience happiness, because I feel like it's just because I had the presumption that anything that comes with happiness will lead to something negative. You know, a form of negativity would be formed from that happiness, and I just thought, well, what's the point? You know, what's the point in even trying it if it will just, at the end of the day, be thrown back in my face? And I was like that for a long time. And that really set me back. Like, it really did set me back, and I regret acting that way. I regret being that way, because I missed out on so many good things, and I missed out on so many good feelings, just because I didn't want to allow myself to be. I didn't want to allow myself to experience that happiness. I just thought, nah, I don't, you know. Basically, it was just no to anything that would, you know, be fun. But I suppose maybe it's because I saw fun in other things, such as, you know, doing things that I shouldn't be doing. I suppose it was maybe a sense of like precognition of that it's going to be bad. You know, it's gonna be bad. So why even let myself experience the good part if I know it's just gonna end in if it's just gonna end in negativity, which in a lot of the times it didn't. But because I had that mentality of that it was going to, it did. Just because I thought it's gonna end like that, so it will. Just munching on a grape right now, and honestly, it sounds so simple. It may be kind of like, you're just saying that you haven't experienced anything, but just allow yourself to experience happiness in certain areas. Don't be completely constricting of the thought of happiness. Don't be completely just no, just because you have a preset cognition of that it will be bad. And there's such a high chance that it isn't. You don't have to be like that. God, I'm playing absolutely ass right now. I think maybe I just grew up a bit. I became more mature. I allowed myself to be open to things rather than just shutting it all out and just saying no. Maybe I was just an ignorant teenager who didn't want help from anyone and just wanted to do everything himself. We are getting destroyed. What the hell is going on with these teams? I've got to be this way because that's the only way I know. You know, that was comfortability. It was comfortable being miserable, you know. They say, you know, even misery needs company, and I can vouch for that. That's extremely true. I was like that for a lot of my younger years, which for me I regret it. I regret it deeply because it set me back in so many ways, especially in the passions that I do. You know, I have a lot of passions as a person. I'm very passionate about those things that I do. You know, this being one of them. I might not, you know, do it as much as my other things, but I'm passionate about it. I put a lot of time and effort into the recording and the editing and, you know, stuff like that. Like, I put a lot of time and effort into that stuff. But because back then, I would have never done this back then. I would have thought about it, said about, yeah, I might try it, and then I would never do it. Just because I had the precognition that, you know, people might not watch it, it might fail. And I was just like, no one will care. I had to grow up at a young age, you know. I was, you know, I had to grow up, and I won't go too deep into that. You know, I've had a lot of experience, especially from a young age, but I didn't allow myself to take the goodness out of it. Take the goodness out of the lessons that I was being taught. I just saw all the negative because that's all I focused on, and I didn't allow myself to see the positive. I just didn't let myself experience it. I just thought, nah, what's the point? Constantly just, what's the point? And I didn't care. It was, what's the point and I don't care. That was my mentality. I'm getting absolutely fucking destroyed, man. Holy shit. This is embarrassing. Wait, it sounds so stupid, but I just didn't want to be happy. You know, I didn't want to be. And I'm not sure what the reason was. I was just focused on the negative. You know, I was just focused on what bad could have happened from it, maybe, or how it might, you know, get thrown back in my face or something. I never focused on, okay, I'm going to try this, and something good could happen from it. It was just, it was an ignorant, miserable mindset, but I was so comfortable in it that I just didn't change. I didn't change for years. And honestly, I don't know how people was able to stand being around me. But I mean, yet again, that's another subject of that. That brought around people who I shouldn't have been around. That brought around people with a similar mindset, you know, very negative people. And I'm gonna get into that into another video about choosing your friends more wisely and stuff, because I wasted a lot of my years with this person just because he was negative, and I feel like he felt comfortable doing that, and he brought me down with him, which didn't make it any better. But I didn't see that. You know, I just saw this guy as a friend. But I suppose that's how it is. But I wasted a lot of my young years with this person, and I regret some of them. I don't regret the time we spent together. I regret wasting the time we spent together. I wasted a lot of time with him, too much time, and it really pulled me down to a low point in my life. Didn't yield any good results. I mean, some of them worse. I did have some good things that happened, but I was never consistent with them because I was just like, I'm not sure. I don't really want to, you know. I'd rather just sit in a hole and just rot away. Because it's easier. It's easier to be miserable, and maybe that's another reason why I did it. I'm definitely, today's day and age, You know, I'm not denying that, saying that it's a lot harder to just live in today's day and age, because it is. You know, everyone's on the phone. It's, you know, no one lives in real life. It's all about the internet. It's all about how that, you know, how people perceive you or whatever, and that just makes you miserable. That just makes you miserable. Putting pressures on yourself that aren't even real. The whole internet stuff, it just puts a pressure on your head that isn't real. You think some of these things that oh, what if they think this, what if they say that, what if they do this in the comments, or they say whatever in the comments. Who cares, man? Go out and do it. If you have a passion for it, go out and do it. Allow yourself to feel the negatives and the positives of those things that you love doing. Otherwise, you're not really doing it. You can't half-bake stuff and then expect people to be like, yeah, this guy's really doing this. This guy's really hard. I really like this guy's work. I really like what this guy's doing. People are gonna see right through it. People will see right through it, and no one will care. And I suppose this is a lesson to my younger self. This is me talking to my younger self, to really just stop putting your head in the dirt. You know, look up, open your eyes a little bit. You know, not everything's so miserable and negative, and you shouldn't downplay everything that you do. You know, it's not all fucking, you know, misery. Damn, 34 deaths, bro. Holy shit. I got cooked. Please don't look at that. I'm usually not this ass, man. Holy shit. Allow yourself to surround yourself with the people who care. Even if their happiness, you know, it radiates to you, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to feel that. Allow it to. Let it in. Let those people who really care in, because those are the ones who will see the success. Those are the ones who want to see you succeed. Those are the ones who, you know, want to see you strive. I want to see you build yourself to be a greater person beyond what you already are. I just couldn't see that. And I mean, also, I didn't have much option of friends, really. You know, I don't know, I'm very selective with my friends. You know, I'm very selective. And back then, I had a real bad selection. Real bad selection. And I'm not dishing out hate to this person, because, you know, I spent a lot of good times with this guy, and I spent a lot of bad times. You know, it's equal amount, but I feel like the negatives outweigh the positives. And if this dude finds this, he knows, you know, he'll know, and that's fine. You know, that's fine by me. I'm not fussed, because I'm here to say, you know, what's real and what's not. I mean, I hope him all the best. You know, that was one of my old D1s. Maybe a little bit after he kind of came out my life, and it wasn't him that was the whole factor of why I was, you know, depressed and miserable all the time. Like, he isn't the factor. There was a lot of other things going on, but it didn't help. Well, I mean, it was a bit before he left, but I started to really open my eyes. You know, I was keeping my head down, avoiding the beauty of the things that I could be in awe of, just because it was easier to keep my head down, so I don't have to have the effort of lifting my head up. But that effort is the thing that you need to get you through. That effort is the thing that you need to push yourself to be greater, and to feel the things of what it feels like to be truly human, you know, to be truly happy, and to stop caring about what people think, stop caring about what they say, stop caring about what they do. I mean, I've always kind of been the type of guy to just not really care what other people are doing and just do my own thing, but it did at one point. For some reason, I just let it get to me, for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. There probably is a reason behind it. I just haven't figured it out yet. So the lesson of today is: don't let the misery in your life control your life. Don't let the shortcomings in your life control it. It's only a temporary until you allow that mindset to be permanent. It's like a squatter, you know. They're not supposed to be there, but if you let them stay, you can let them stay. It'll affect you. It might start affecting the area around it. The other things in your mind, they might start causing issues. It might domino effect into other things in your life, which it definitely did for me. So I mean, I know I'm not alone in that thought. So yeah, allow those things, man. Allow that happiness. Don't block it off just because it's a comfortability to not let it in. Just because it's a comfortability to stick into the dark, you know, never allow yourself to see the light, just because it's so much easier to stare at the ground rather than lift your head up with the effort to look at the sky. Take that with however you like. I mean, I know I've said in previous videos that I'm not doing this to be a freaking therapist, which I'm not. Because I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not a therapist. I'm just, you know, like I said, just a guy. Just a dude saying shit on the internet. Just because someone else has said, oh no, that's kind of cringe, I don't like that. I think that's weird. Don't let that get to you, because if you've got haters, that means you're doing something right. You're doing something they can't do, or something they want to do, but they're too scared to do it. And that's a whole nother subject, which I definitely am going to talk about. Because I've definitely experienced that. If you got some shit you want to do, man, do that shit. Don't half-ass it, because then you will just get upset by the fact that you've just not done it properly and no one gives a shit. It is such a simple thing. It's like, because it's so simple, you overlook it. It's just allowing yourself to be happy. It feels like such a simple solution that it's like, no, that won't work. I mean, I'm not saying it does work. I'm not downplaying, you know, people with like real issues, you know, that it's, you know, that they just can't do that, which is fine, you know. I'm not saying, oh, just be happy. I'm not one of those people, because it's just super ignorant to say that. You know, it's stupid as fuck to say that, because it's not that easy. Like, allowing yourself to feel happiness, like even in the small things that you do, you know, the small achievements. Allow yourself to go out and do something because you like it, not because other people think you're weird. Just allow that happiness. Because restricting it's just you putting a limit on how much you want to experience in life. My deaths are so bad, you know, as it dominoes the other way with the negativity. It sure is to domino the correct way with happiness. It might take a while, you know, these things don't come easy. They always take effort. It's forcing yourself to do the things you don't like to see the results that you do like. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this video here. If you like to, you know, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. I like to hear if anyone wants to say stuff in the comments. If you wanna talk about something, I'll be sure to reply. Hope you enjoyed the vid, and hopefully you'll tap into the next one. I'll see you then.